For me, I'm very comfortable with mixed-proof valves. I've been around them for 20 years. I've watched them applied. I've seen them used very successfully across almost every imaginable product, whether it's milk or home and personal care products, sauces, beverages, really about any product, very well. But it can be a little scary if you've never dealt with one, or if you've had an experience and it wasn't well, didn't go well. I do run into some fear of the technology and reluctance to implement it. It is knowledge, and I touched on it a bit ago, the fact that the design allows for, if you took all of the rubber out of the valve, the elastomers that are doing the primary sealing, just take them away, you could still flow two products that are enemy fluids through that valve and they would not mix. Let's say you have cleaning fluid passing through one half of the valve and product going through the other, and the cleaning fluid, rubber disappeared, was gone. It's going to leak because there's no rubber there. It's going to be leaking to the floor. It actually has the ability, rather than potentially push itself into the food product, it has the ability to pull a suction against those seals that are housing food products. So if there happened to be some sort of a damaged seal on it, rather than mix, it has the potential to actually suck food out of the valve with it to the floor. And that can be demonstrated pretty easily with a sample valve. And to get pasteurized milk ordinance, valve manufacturers have to prove that. They have to prove they can pull a vacuum on the alternating seal. When people see that, they're like, yeah, I could see how if there weren't rubber in this valve that it's not going to mix. The other side of that, another feature of that, is these openings are very tiny. So even if the elastomers are gone, there's very little area. It's not going to be mass amounts of liquid that could even potentially move from one area to the other. Anywhere and everywhere is an option. I have folks that'll reach out and it is very conceptual. They are just thinking about starting a process and they need help getting that off the ground. Sometimes those folks have never heard of a mixed-proof valve. I'm engaged in an opportunity right now where part of that business is engaging us to help them engineer and design a process, and that particular process has never used mixed-proof valves. They were aware of them, they just never had. When they went into that engagement, what you've always done is easy. They were thinking, yeah, here we'd have a transfer panel so we can make these changes. That was a point where our team said, hey, hold on a minute. That may make complete sense, but let's chase this concept for a while and see what makes sense. And really, the vast majority of it, when we got all the way through it, it completely made sense for mixed-proof valves. And in this scenario, they're on board with it. They recognize the advantage of it. So early is great. We also have folks that come to us, they already have a plan. The transfer panel's already drawn into it, and at that moment in time, we can still have the conversation. You touched on this earlier. It's also not uncommon. Plant's been there 25 years. There's a transfer panel, and they've got problems with accidentally dumping product, accidentally mixing product, taking too much time, and they're looking to optimize. And there's been times, frankly, we've generated that, just been in the factory enough that we recognize that really is a sore subject in that factory, and we bring it up to them. There may be a transition makes sense.